everyone. Welcome to CAN TV 21 Hotline. Let's talk etiquette. My name is Nathan Wright, and I'm the Executive Director of the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois. And please give us a call. We want to hear from you. We have an awesome subject for you today. So just pick that phone up and dial 312-738-1060. Let me give it to you again. 312-738-1060. Awesome subject for you today, but first, allow me to introduce my very special co-host, etiquette maven extraordinary, Georgia Selman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. It's such a pleasure to be here again. This is my third time, and I tell you, I am totally thrilled to be your guest host on today. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. I'm so glad to have you here because all the shows we've done have been really, really dynamic shows. We've covered some very interesting topics. But today, this is our last show for the year.
Yes.
And we want to close the show out reflecting as well as looking forward. So our topic is, let me put it on the overhead so you can see it. Looking forward, looking back, looking forward. Optimism and positiveness is our lifeblood. 2017, educating the many, saving lives is the goal, intellectualizing social behavior, cultivating moral values, rejecting all forms of social and moral degeneracy. That was a mouthful. That was a mouthful. But yes, looking back, and I think that would be a great place for us to start because this has been a tumultuous year, full of so many things that it's great things in one side of the perspective and some awful things on the other side. And this organization has been waging a long, hard, year-long campaign to improve behavior, provide etiquette as a value system. And so this is what our year really has been about. And there's some subjects we have covered that I think are extremely valuable and that I'm going to put one up for you. One of the shows we did some weeks or months ago, and I'm going to start with this one. This is one we started early in the year because we knew based on the data from last year that this was going to be a major issue in our city. And I think the data, Ms. Selman, I think the data says it, and I'm hoping that this campaign we launched back in January of this year had some impact, and it Stop the Violence, Teach Etiquette. It's a simple concept, teach manners and morals. And as you know, this has been one of our core campaign subjects, because we realize that there is a solution. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on this subject because this is something we and you and other members of our organization have really put some time and effort to try to get this message out there. Give me some of your thoughts on this subject.
Well, stop the violence, teach etiquette. I think that if we incorporate etiquette, civility in our being, then not just our being, but in the being of people, then the violence will stop.
Yes.
I'm truly a believer that if we teach civility and etiquette, starting from home, and I think I've said this before on your show.
Yes, you have.
Starting from home, in our school system, in all entities of our communities, the churches, the community centers,
Yes.
wherever the municipalities. I think if we incorporate this concept in every area of our communities, I think we can stop the violence.
That is so profoundly said. Well stated, well stated. And I totally agree with you. It's really a behavior problem. Violence is truly a behavior problem. And the way we believe as an organization we can stop that violence is by educating our children to not be mean spirited, to not be, you know, disrespectful, to not be immoral, to be ethical, you know, to have real, true values that they can live by and believe in. Once a child is taught those things, we call it manners and morals.
Yes.
And if you take the manners, politeness, consideration, courtesies, you're just being just a good, decent person. If you can instill that into a child, and it's possible, because you have to remember a child is born relatively equal to every other child. An infant, a toddler, is not corrupted, is not criminal, is not immoral at 3 years of age, 2 years of age. Where do our children get these values from? You know, they are learned values. Oh, we have a caller. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, I have a question. I have a question. How can you come up with etiquette and everything else when you don't control something? You got to be able to control something initially in order to permit anything.
Address that. I think and you're absolutely correct. One thing that we do control is our home.
Hold on just that. Hold on.
TV down. If you can turn the TV down, that'd be great. That'd be helpful because we're getting the feedback.
I appreciate that. Hold on just a second. Okay.
Every parent have control over their household. We're talking about violence, which is a learned behavior. If you are taught in your household early on the importance of respect, the importance of having good manners, the importance of how to treat one another, I think that we wouldn't have so many violent people because it is a learned behavior.
Yes.
It starts home.
Why is this behavior restricted to one category of people?
I think it is.
Yes, I don't think it is.
Well, not thinking. Let's face reality. In the early 40s, when the migration from the South up here,
Yes.
okay, there was numerous families sleeping in the same buildings, cooking in the same stove, or taking a bath in the same bathtub, and you didn't hear no fussing or fighting.
That's true. You didn't lock your...
The only time that I heard of a robbery was in 1958. I'm going with facts. Now you can laugh at it all you want.
I'm
These are facts.
It rarely happened. I'm not laughing.
I was living 3631 South Park then. So now, 2 blocks south of there, you had Ida B. Wells. Okay.
Yes.
So now you're following this day by day, decade by decade, and you're saying the same thing over and over. That is not going to work. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect for different results. That's what I'm saying.
All right, caller, thank you for the call. We appreciate your call. Please call us the next time. But to give the caller an answer, I'm old enough to remember exactly what you're talking about. I don't think during my adolescent years I heard of anybody ever being robbed. And I know we didn't lock our doors because there wasn't the need to lock our doors. You know, our women and our children can walk the street, sleep out on the porch or wherever, and no one would harm them. They didn't have to worry about sleeping on the back porch. You know, so I know that era, and I know that time when we had etiquette, and when etiquette was indeed part of our value system. And that's what drove that environment, that community, to be a safe place to live, a happy place to live. And what has happened is technology has had a huge impact on our children and on our sense of self and our value system. Hollywood, the television, we only had one or two channels, and it went off at 12 o'clock, and that little sound came on. I remember that. So I'm saying the society has changed in a very negative way, and it's been driven by a lot of antisocial kinds of behavior and influences in our society today. And a lot of it is media driven, unfortunately. So, yes, we do have some control to that question. We have control right now sitting here and communicating with the audience to let them begin to think about what they can do. Hopefully, they'll take action and do something. And I mean, that's really where it lies. We have to take control over ourselves and try to influence those who are around us so that they can do better.
And I think it's the responsibility of everyone. Oh, we have another caller.
Another caller. Okay, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, and I'd like to say good evening to y'all guys. And
You.
also, happy holiday and a very wonderful New Year's Eve to all your listeners. And it's a great day to be on God's green earth.
Absolutely.
Listen, just a quick response to what that young lady was saying. Don't worry about this since I have another call on the line, but I think this is a little bit more important what I want to say. I also remember those days, but she asked a question and she also answered it. See, then you had mostly a family, you had a village, you had people that thought more differently, you had pictures on TVs that showed you much better. Kids, people wanted to learn, people wanted to become something, people had a dream and a hope to do. Now, to your guest, she stated that it starts at home. Well, true enough, it did at one time. But if it's not at home, where is it taught? It's so hard for a teacher to get some students in your class, and they just don't want to hear it. I don't care what. I'm quite sure some people sometimes maybe get scared of some of the pupils in school. And you see, school is just becoming nothing. But again, there's a lot of little ways to do things. And it has to be done in the streets because everything is done through the streets, through these communications of the music and all these tweaking and tweaking and all that mess they do, Instagrams and Facebook and all that mess. I'm not interested. I don't know how to do it. Don't have no attention to want to do it. But, Mr. Wright, I'm going to tell you something. A few years ago, I told you something. I'm going to tell you again. Everyone needs to take a card or a piece of paper and write down 3 goals you like to do in your life and put it in your wallet or your pocket or your purse. I don't care where you get it.
It's giving that advice.
Every single day you should look at that paper, and it can be real simple, like just saying hello, good morning. Get in the habit of doing that. And then you could make a check on it. Let me respect other people. You're going to be called everything under the sun, young people. I hope the ones that's listening. You're going to be called everything on God's green earth. But you also got to remember, one day they talked about Jesus Christ. So you don't care what people talk about. Talking is nothing but opening your mouth up, flipping, and words coming out. Young people, they say things, and I don't understand a single word they be saying. So I just keep my train moving. But again, that it's just one entity that we could start. It's just like a little baby, one step at a time, and things maybe progress. I went to a funeral, a young person's friend or family.
We are running out of time.
Oh, yeah, okay, let me get out there. But listen,
Sure.
again, I think y'all do a heck of a good show. I hope more people, and especially young people, listen to your conversation. Let me get out there so I can hear response.
Thank you.
And
Yes, thank you, Steve. Some great commentary there, and I can identify with all of what Steve was talking about.
Absolutely.
And if we had an hour, I would let you go on for 15 minutes if you needed to get it all out. It wasn't just this 28-minute show, you know that. So, but anyway, to address the other person and to you, Steve, we as an organization believe that we cannot give in or give up,
Right.
and we have to continue to do all that we can do to really save lives.
Right.
And I know if a child is getting a good quality social education, that child has a chance of not becoming a degenerate. And that's what it's all about. If you can affect one, that one is going to impact 3 or 4. That person is going to teach their children what they learned from us.
Right.
So this is how it's word of mouth, and this is how we are going about this. We think what we do is a worthy cause for humanity, and this is why we're doing it. It's not about any money. Of course, it's not about that, but it's really about saving a generation of young people. And so that's just, if you want to add something to that, I'm going to put up the next.
No, I would like to just reiterate that I believe any and all forms of education starts at home. And I'm going to stick with that one.
Right.
I'm going to stick with it because I wholeheartedly believe that
Starts at home.
how we impact our children starting at home will impact them once they get into the school system.
Yes.
Once they learn the basic morals and values at home.
At home. Yes.
At home.
Yes.
They'll take that behavior into other entities, the schools.
Yes.
And
yes.
I'm going to stick with it. I'm
agree.
a strong believer
I agree,
in that.
absolutely.
Yes.
We're both on the same page. The foundation of civilization is the family.
Family.
It starts with one male, one female, and children.
Yes.
That is the foundation of civilization. It starts there. Nothing goes beyond that. And you have the opportunity as a parent to educate your child, the child you brought into this world.
Right.
Okay, you're responsible for this. You did
Yes.
this. So step up and start educating your child to know how to be civilized, to respect others, to be a decent human being. It's on you to do that.
That's right.
Okay? Now, when they get to the school, hopefully they can get some reinforcements there on this
Absolutely.
subject so that all of the children can be on the same page when it comes to being polite and respectful. But it's up to you,
Starts at
the
home.
parent. Okay? You don't want no children, don't have them. All right? But
And if you have them, then teach them.
then teach them.
Teach them.
Don't push it off on anybody. Don't blame anyone else. Those children was riding in the mall. They our children. They got parents. Parents didn't do what they should have done when they was 3, 4, 5. Right?
I totally agree.
Right.
I'm sorry, I totally agree.
It's the parents' fault.
Yes. Yes.
Okay?
It starts at home.
Starts at home.
Good behavior starts at home. Manners
Absolutely.
should start at home.
Yes.
Teaching your child how to respect other people.
Yes.
First, teaching your child how to respect you as a parent.
Yes.
How to respect themselves. How to respect others. It starts at home.
In that house, in that environment.
It's reinforced in other entities, like in schools.
Yes.
As a teacher, substitute teacher, I'm going to remind your child to be respectful.
Which you
I'm
shouldn't
going
have
to
to.
remind you, if they, we all kind of get off
Right.
a little bit,
Yes.
especially if we're not in our normal environment. Sometimes kids can feel like, oh, I'm not at home, so I can,
Do
yeah.
maybe. Yes.
But if you have a person that believe in the importance of civility and etiquette, that person will remind your child.
Do justice by your child.
Yes,
Do justice by your child.
absolutely.
Teach them what they need to know to be civilized. Okay, it's not complicated. You taught them how to speak and talk.
Yes.
Where did they learn their first language, their first word? It came from
home.
you.
Yes.
Okay? So do the rest of the job you need to do as a parent.
Yes.
Okay? That's not complicated at all. And that should be for anyone listening to us. And if you hear us, tell your friends, spread the word.
Yes.
Okay? That you can do for us. Now, this next subject is a little that we did a show on. Okay? Now, Steve probably saw this show. And it's a show that was very difficult, to say the least. But let me read this to you. There's a thin line between civilized behavior and barbarism. It is. It is a thin line. Someone can walk in the store and just say hello to you and pull a gun and shoot you dead. It's really can happen just like that. So there is a thin line between civilized behavior and barbarism. And we see it all the time.
All the time.
All
I
the
mean,
time.
the road rage
Yes.
that you see. But I'm inclined to believe that a person that does not know how to, that will road rage or that will disrespect someone else, that's in them.
It's in them.
That's
But
just.
sometimes those people who are, I consider them somewhat mentally ill personally, because they can live their whole life and just do one insane thing suddenly out of some rage. One insane, a person that may be considered a pillar of the community by all other standards of their behavior, and get out there on the road and just for some reason snap. It happens.
It does. It does.
You know, I get upset if somebody do this to me. You know that.
Oh my God.
I mean, that upsets me. I feel that emotionally.
Yes.
It just happened to you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, so it doesn't take a lot.
And it's that's that thin line.
At the line.
That's that thin line.
We got a caller real quick. We got only a few minutes, caller. Go ahead, though.
I believe I could fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
That's it? Okay. Thank you, caller. That's a wonderful ending. But you know what? We're ending out this year, 2016, and we're excited about the year ahead. And we won't get a chance to cover some of these other subjects, but let me throw one up here just so that it is in the video that we're doing here. This subject, okay? This subject. What does the word etiquette mean? It means the foundation of peace and harmony. Peace and harmony. Peace on earth, goodwill to all men. And we're coming up on the last day of the year, and we would like to say, have a happy New Year's and an outstanding Etiquette Civility 2017. And would you like to close out with a few words?
Yes, just make 2017 your year. Parents, I'm speaking primarily to the parents. Make 2017 your year to stress the importance upon your children, the importance of having good behavior, respectful behavior, and how to treat their fellow
Human
men.
beings.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's so important.
Yes, yes.
So important. I think that will stop the violence, some of the violence.
Yes.
At least you will set the tone for your child to go into the new year with a whole different mindset.
Yes. So important. Thank you, Miss Selma.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And Happy New Year's to everyone.
Happy New Year.
Yes.